But this man is 2 for 2 now on killing someone important to Junhee. So like no wonder she...
Hey guys, me myself Nick Juan, and today I'll be reacting to Squid Game Season 3 is exhausting. So unfortunately, I agree with the title. I love Season 1. Season 2 was good. Season 3, the games were good. Okay? Each one. It's 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 the ending. It's the ending. And some of the it's the who won. And also, it's the order in which certain characters got taken out. And also, after a certain point, it became predictable. So I'll say it when this creator explains it in the video. But yeah, I was disappointed with season 3. In general, I enjoyed it. I binge watched it legit in one sitting. It was only what 6 episodes, I think. So yeah, because I did not want to get spoiled about who won. And honestly, if I did get spoiled about who won, I would have been like, what? I would have not believed. Well, but actually, I saw the trailer. And see, I probably would have believed it. I don't know, but yeah, let's just go and begin. I'm gonna say my opinions throughout the video. So yeah, let's begin. Spoilers ahead. Yeah, spoilers.
So me, along with everybody else, just got done watching Squid Game 3. This is
Yes.
it. This is the final season. The grand conclusion to this world we've been following happens here. And in
Besides
my
the
last
spinoff.
review, I was sharing how obsessed Season 2 had me and how it improved on so many things from Season 1. And despite all its flaws, I was excited for what that second season was building up. And I was eager for more. And did Season 3 deliver? Well, kinda, sorta. It had me at the start. Definitely
Yes.
did, but then it kind of lost me. But then it had me again, and then
It's the ending.
Look, I don't know
It's
why this season took me for a loop. I can admit the fact that I might have messed up. I haven't seen this show since season 2 first aired, so jumping
me.
into season 3
So
did feel like...
me neither. I'll watch each season. I watched once, and after watching it, I never watched it again. So, but season 2, it was kind of still freshly in my mind. So I don't think I had to rewatch it. You know, but yeah.
whiplash. Because this season is expected to be played immediately after you get done watching the final episode of Season 2, which is probably what I should have done. I probably should have rewatched Season 2 before diving back into Season 3,
I don't
because
think
they
it's
honestly
needed.
waste no time here getting back into the stakes and tension the second season left us in. But despite my whiplash, I was excited to see what happens next. The second season was very much a gradual build-up and methodical approach to Gi-hun's grand plan. Plan A was finding the recruiter and having him lead our protagonist to their boss. And that didn't work. So plan B was to infiltrate the games and stall for time and keep as many people alive as possible. And that didn't work either. But after being outsmarted again and again, plan C was to attack from the inside. But clearly nothing went right here. So now this got interesting again. Gi-hun is figured out now, the guards know to keep a closer eye on him, half of his alliance got wiped out at the end of last season, leaving him heavily outnumbered with those who actually want to stay. He has no power and he's back at square one, playing to survive and making it to the end. Gi-hun was never meant to be this deep. He originally should have been out by red light, green light, at the latest until the end of the slaughter night when he overtook the games. But now there's not really a plan anymore. So let's get into what this season did right. The games this season are pretty good. You had hide and seek, jump rope, and Squid Game in the Heights. And again, these games were fine. To me, they weren't quite as memorable as the pentathlon or mingle.
I love the hide and
seek
seek
one. The execution or the games themselves.
So the hide and seek one, I think was the best one out of season 3. Then the jump rope. Then the last one. The last one would have been, I think, fire if it was different characters in the finale. If it was like Thanos in the finale, along with Loki, I think it would have been okay. You know what would have saved actually season 3? If his crew, each member of his crew was at the end. Because, okay, yeah, obviously, like, I don't know, we talk about spoilers, right? If his crew was all in the final game, they would have to take each other out. Not all of them will have left. So, and imagine if it was like Thanos also there, and Thanos' friend, I forgot his name. Oh my goodness. And like maybe player 100. I think that, yeah, that bitch. Um, it would have, I think that would have even more sadder. That would have made the finale, honestly. And, okay, spoiler alert, obviously, the baby won. Oh my goodness. I think the baby shouldn't have played a factor in the season. I'm sorry. I think, if anything, she should have gave birth to the baby at the last challenge. Honestly. I don't know. I think that should happen. Or maybe just never gave birth. You know? Maybe be thinking she gonna give birth throughout the season, but she doesn't. She gives birth after she survives. You know? I think that would be interesting. But, 'cause, I, I was so annoyed because, okay, the minute, player 222, when she died, in that moment, the minute she died, I was like, oh, the baby's winning. I thought it was gonna be the baby and player 456. I mean, I was close, but whew, my goodness.
Probably have an answer after another rewatch. But I think we can all agree that hide and seek was the best game this season.
Yes,
The set design for this game was absolutely gorgeous,
It
and the
looked-
stakes that are
it looked fun. Like if they do this in live action, Netflix, listen now. If they were to do this like a live action, and I don't mean like the show, the live action show, the competition. I don't mean that. I mean like a kind of like Chuck E. Cheese and stuff, but have it be like Squid Game, and this would be the most funnest one. People, I think, will have the most fun with this and red light, green light. Maybe the jump rope one, but I don't know. But this will be fun as fuck, and like if they ever built like an actual place like this.
favorite characters are on opposing teams this time around really left me anxious the whole time.
Yes.
It wasn't like season 1 with marbles where whoever your opponent is, it's either you or them walking out alive. For this game, I had some hope because even though two people we really care about are against each other, this game makes it possible for each of them to make it out alive. But like I said, the design for this game is crazy. I don't know who's in charge in picking what children's game to incorporate into the death games, but they always make it feel so natural and it always just makes sense.
Yes.
I did not know how they were going to do hide and seek and make it scary. But the endless maze with hallways that look nauseatingly similar and the door locks that are shape specific really helped build the sense of, oh my god, I might be cooked from our characters. Because hide and seek, it would be optimal to stay alone, but in Squid Game, you're encouraged to be in teams so that you're guaranteed to have a proper shape for the keyhole. All that's left is making sure you have competent teammates that won't sabotage you in this game. But this episode was great. It was probably the best in the season. They nailed the tension here. Unless there was something explicitly happening, like someone getting killed or someone being chased, there was no music. Just the footsteps of those creeping around and the screams of someone in the distance running away. I loved this. Every actor gave it their all in this sequence. This episode probably has the most impactful moments this whole season, apart from maybe 2 other moments later in the show. And I have my opinions on that, but we'll circle back to that later. The next death game was jump rope, and it was cool.
Oh, hang on. So let's go back to hide and seek. Let's go to this scene. Okay, I know it's a show. You would think realistically, if it's it was 3 characters, right? It was the trio. It was the tall girl who can fight. The mother and player 222 and the baby now. I was thinking the whole time, why not y'all just sit by the door? Like back to the door, all 3 of y'all. Cause no one could get in at that point. Unless it's like, 5 seekers came and busted the door, but I doubt they'd waste time like that, So it's like I was thinking the whole time to just sit by the door and just wait the time out. Cause when they left, it was I think it was only like 2 minutes left or something like that. I might just sit and wait. Like I was like the exit right there. Okay, and basically you can either sit and wait out the time or find the exit. I probably would look for the exit. Then again, I would expect the exit not going to be a big sign that says exit. I would think the exit is like hidden somewhere. So I think I would honestly get a group of people that I trust and just sit by the door. Find a room where it's one door, not two doors. If it's a room with one door, in and out, and all of us sit by that door and just like wait out the time. That's what I do honestly. But they had took out my girl. Uh, they had took out my girl. I know the character was trans, but the actor isn't. I think that's yeah, the actor isn't, but the character was. But still, I did not expect that. I thought she was gonna make it to the. Okay, I didn't. I kind of knew she wasn't gonna win, but I don't know. Cause I was expecting player 2-2 to win. Ugh, I
To
don't
be
know.
in teams so that you're guaranteed to have a proper
Oh,
shape.
every character I think actor wise need an Emmy. I mean, Emmy, yeah, Emmy. But the mother right here on the screen, well, they both mothers, but the older mother, she, cause I I forgot her name. She she needs an Emmy. The performance she put on after her son got, cause technically she took out her son, not really. So basically she took out her son because her son tried to kill player 2-2, and she kind of like took him out because he had to kill one person at least, and he didn't. So she didn't do the finishing blow, but she technically took him out. The performance she put on when she was trying to end the game, I mean, she wanted people to vote to end the game. Give her Emmy. Give her an Emmy. I don't know. I was so
For
sad.
the key was there was something for most impact. I feel like they were trying on that, but
Oh, and his
apart
character,
from maybe two other
he lasted too long.
moments later in the show.
I'm just gonna say
Did I
that.
have
His character, I never seen. Okay, I will say, rewatching season 2 back to back, his character I think I will feel differently by, but his character, I thought they was gonna do something completely different with his character. I don't know. His character came and just went. I can't snap, but yeah, his character came and went. Honestly, I did not expect 456 to kill him, but when that time was I think almost up, I was like, he kind of got two now, and he did. Was player 456 justified in killing him? See, okay, I'm sorry, I did not like his character. I liked his character up until the last episode of season 2 when he had a panic attack or something like that. Um, it wasn't a panic attack. It was something similar to that. I can't think of the word right now. I'm kind of tired, but he kind of folded. He did. He did. I won't say he cost the people lives, but he's supposed to go get the ammo and come back. In my opinion, if he couldn't do it, I'm sure he could have told someone to do it. I don't know. He could have took it halfway and screamed to say, come get it. I don't know, something. He kind of folded in my opinion. And I'm not saying it was deserved to take him out, but I can see why 456 did take him out. I can
like
see
they were
why.
trying to recreate, but we'll circle back to that later. The next death game was jump rope, and it was cool. I feel like they were trying to recreate the same tension that was there for Glass Bridge, but I personally didn't really care. This is one of those games where, due to the nature of the show, they did make it appear more difficult than it is, and it showed a lot of people dying and a lot of people slipping up. But in reality, I don't know, maybe I'm just built different, but I feel like I can clear this game no problem.
You know
But
what?
anyways,
Me
the
too.
real tension of this game was that there was a rogue player that started pushing pushing people off once they got to the exit, and they were literally gatekeeping players.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. 456, I forgot his name. When I say it pissed me off when he didn't push this character off. The minute he saw him kill someone, I'm like, if you don't push this man off, his back was facing him. I was like, if you don't push him off, I think he let 2, 3 people get pushed off, and then he finally said something. I think he had said he'll push him off. When I say that pissed me off, I ain't gonna lie, I don't know.
From going through. And that's interesting on paper, but there's one problem with that, and that problem is that I didn't care about who was dying here. Remember when I said episode 2 had the most impactful moments this season? Yeah, that's because majority of the central cast dies in this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because this is meant to be watched alongside season 2 to feel like one long big
It would have hit different if he had, like, for example, you know the guy with the glasses, the mother's son? It would hit different, let's say, if he survived the other one. Yeah, let's just say he survived that. Let's say he was a hider instead, and he has survived. And let's say it was him. He was the one who was like, he was the one who got pushed off by the guy. That would have been a shocking moment. Like, what? And then the mother would have been crying, because at that point, like, she still had been alive. And you know what? I think she could clear it. I don't know. The mother was kind of a badass. I don't know. I think she could clear it. But after seeing that, actually what's crazy is I don't think she'll stop. I don't think she'll jump. I don't think she'll just sit there and cry. I think she would cry. But I think she would go across that thing and kill that guy. If 456 didn't push him already. That's what I think.
Season, or if it's just a weird decision. But I thought it was way too fast and way too jarring that so many important people died in this game with 4 more episodes left to go. Player 1.
Yes. I think actually that's what the problem is. Because the people in the finale, I was like, who is these people? Besides, 3 characters that I knew, that's kind of like main characters, besides like 456. I was like, it was player 333 and the guy who was a wuss. I was like, who are these other people? Oh, and player 100, annoying ass. I was like, who these people? Who? Yeah, I think they killed off too many characters in this, and I still think they killed off Thanos too early. Thanos, I will say he shouldn't have been the last in the finale. He should have had a shocking, like, death, honestly, and hide and seek. That would have been a shocking, like, first, second episode of season 3. That would have been shocking.
20 died by being stabbed in the back by player 222's baby daddy. And
Yes.
I can't help but notice this, but this man is 2 for 2 now on killing someone important to Jun-hee. So like, no wonder she hates this man more and more every time she sees him. But
yeah.
her death hit super hard because she went out protecting her group. She saved them from multiple killers, defended them when Jun-hee had a freaking baby, and she even found the exit herself, but instead of securing the win for her alone, she went back to rescue them, and doing that, she never made it to the end. Player 288 was kind of done dirty here. At the end of season 2, I was really looking forward to seeing what happens to him, because we never really knew why he backed out in the last second. Everyone just kind of assumed that it was PTSD from his time at war, but
no, I thought it was obvious. He was lying. I'm sure I was not the only one. He was lying. I knew he was. Then a character asked him a question and about war or something, and he couldn't answer it. He had like stutter or something, and he had tried to like change the subject. He was lying. I knew he was. It was pretty obvious. If a lot of people didn't catch that, I don't know how. I think it was obvious he was lying. It gave pretending. I want to be cool. That's what it gave. And I honestly think he would have, let's say if he didn't die and hide and seek, he probably would have. I don't think he would have won. No, I don't think he would have won. He definitely would have cleared the jump rope. Yeah, I think, yeah, I can see him make it to the finale, but he went on one though.
Season 3 starts, nobody talks to him at all. We don't see people asking what the hell happened.
I
We
mean,
don't
I
see
don't think I
people
would
scolding
have.
him for
I would beat his
trading at
ass
the
if
last
anything,
second.
probably.
We rarely even see or hear from him because he's hiding half the time. All we see is Gihun death staring him
Yeah,
from
cause, yeah,
across
'cause
the
he felt
room.
guilty.
It's only revealed later that after all this time, he was lying about being a Marine.
It was
He
obvious.
never
Oh, yeah,
served. He just wanted to fit in.
Marine.
And after revealing this, after screaming this in front of the whole room, Gihun doesn't even say a word and nobody even says anything to him. He just runs away, tries to fend off Gihun with his shoe, and then just dies.
Because what's crazy is if he didn't lie, it possibly, and I okay, I actually I believe they wouldn't have won a gunfight anyway. But who knows? It could have been like a 0.10% chance that they could have clutched it out. Who knows? Who knows, right? But him, you cannot tell me him lying about being a Marine and him not bringing back the extra ammo. Because not all the guards had experience with guns. Wasn't every single isn't some of the guards just regular people? Right, first time holding a gun. Right, I could be wrong. I don't think every last pink guard they have experience with guns. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. So I think they could have clutched it out. Who knows? But his character lying about being a Marine, he could have lied. That's fine. Don't lie up until we about to have a massive gunfight. Then now is your time to come clean. He could have been a runner. He could have been a runner. He could. I think. I think if anything like that should have been the easiest thing he can do. Run and bring the ammo. He don't gotta shoot. He don't gotta. Well, he probably gotta fight. But come on now, like. So I didn't feel bad for his character. I'm sorry.
I was a little disappointed. He was a standout character for me in season 2. He was
He
always
was.
looking out for everyone in the group. He
Mhm.
always held others' interests above his own.
Yep.
But he was just unrecognizable this season. Like, I guess you can say that that's kind of the point since he lied, but he only lied about his upbringing. But him as a person, his character, his morals, those were real throughout the course of last season. So for him, to
I don't
just
know. He
die
kind of
like
left
that
everybody
is
up
a
there
little
hanging.
underwhelming.
So
The shaman lady died. I have nothing to say about her. Good riddance. I
Yeah.
feel like they tried to make her like Hunmin Yo in season 1.
Failed.
But she wasn't entertaining. She was just annoying. Youngsik had a
oh yeah,
really
and her ass wasn't even psychic. Her ass was not even psychic. So like, y'all remember when she had drew the arrow on the wall, and then she was like, she had basically like tried to pretend to like listen to the gods, whatever, and then she had opened her eyes a little bit and like saw the arrow and was like this way. And I also remember when she had guided those people behind her in like a giant ass circle, which I don't see how that even possible. You should feel if you're constantly turning. I think you would feel that, but I think I would constantly go straight. But okay.
sad death. This one really hit hard. He was being told by his mom that he shouldn't be a killer because he won't be able to kill anyone. And
I
she
felt
was
bad
right.
more for
He
the
went through
mother.
This whole game
He had multiple
either
chances to kill
losing
people.
or losing to someone in a direct fight.
He could have
and
easily
he
killed that
couldn't
person.
make
I
it
don't
to
know what I
the
say.
end. My biggest fear before the game started was that he would end up running to his mom, and that's exactly what happened. And in a tragic act, he ends up dying.
I can't lie. I thought he would
would
kill his mama. I'm not gonna lie.
This broke me. They spend the whole game staying at each other's side, even when the odds were against them, whether they be on opposing teams or they get split up. They always tried to find each other. His mom wasn't even supposed to be here. She's here trying to clear his debt, and she ended up being the one to end his run at the games. And after
I think
all
she's my
that,
favorite
she
character
decides to take her
in
own life, since there's no point in going anymore.
Season
And
3.
Junhee broke her ankle during this game, but made it to the next one. But if Squid Game taught me one thing, it's that if a player gets injured in the prior game and
Yeah.
still manages to make it out, there's a near chance they're not gonna stick around for much longer. I don't know,
Mhm.
it's just the nature of the game, I guess. But that was all way too much. This was an excruciating watch. There was nothing good happening in this episode.
Oh wait.
But that's what I was saying. It's around for much.
So with player 222, okay, I know her ankle's injured, and in a jump rope one, physically she probably couldn't do it by herself. I'm sorry. I think that she could have somehow did it. I was thinking the two ways I think she could have went through and survived the jump rope one. Okay, I don't know how much upper body strength she has. She could have went on the side of the train thing and like just shimmied. I know it's a gap right there. Someone else, maybe 456, could have been um I have a feeling he probably no. Her baby daddy. I know she probably wouldn't accept her help, but I kind of think she would have only to see to survive with her baby. That's what I think. At this point, her baby already is safe. I think she would have shimmied along the way with her baby daddy, and then when it came to crossing that gap, 456 could have hold her hand and helped her, and it would have been scary. But I think that he could have grabbed the arm. Maybe he moved back some towards the finish line. I mean not finish line, but the safe area. And the baby daddy holding the other arm and basically scratching her arm out so that way she can have both hands on the train rack. So then basically she's almost safe, and then the baby daddy can hop over or whatever. That's one way. The second way is both 456 and the baby daddy hold her basically her arms on their shoulders and they jump together. I think two grown men can hold her, because she probably my height. She looked like she like 5'2", 5'3". I mean, I'm 5'5" on a good day. I think I'm 5'4", but I think they should be able to come on. I think they should be able to jump with her, and then when it gets to the gap part, at that point I don't know, but okay, at that point they should have to just quickly jump. I think you have to be like maybe 4, 5, 6 jumps first, and then as the rope comes, the baby daddy like helps 222 like jumps over, and then he be the last one over there, and then he jumps, and then I don't know, they continue. That's what I think. I don't know if that theory would have helped, but I think she could have got past. I'm sorry, my ankle broke. I figured out a way. Even if I have to hop on one leg. Then again, I'm thinking about she did just give birth technically, so her body is like weaker. I don't know. I guess she was doomed from the
To the
start.
next one. But if Squid Game taught me one thing, it's that if a player gets injured in the prior game and still manages to make it out, there's a near chance they're not gonna stick around for much longer. I don't know, it's just the nature of the game, I guess. But that was all way too much. This was an excruciating watch. There was nothing good happening in this episode. But that's what I was saying earlier. All the characters you rooted for just died in that recent game. So who are you looking out for now? I thought it was damn near obvious that Junhee wasn't making it past jump rope. I wasn't really excited for this game because there was no stakes, no one that I cared about was playing. I was mainly just invested to see exactly how Junhee was gonna accept her fate here. Because really in season 3 she had a lot more going on. Not only because of the baby, but just her in general, she was talking a lot more. She actually shared her feelings and opened up. A majority of last season, whenever she talked more than a couple sentences, it was to shoot down her ex. But here we see that she was looking forward to have a baby, that she wants to make sure the baby makes it out of the island. And she doesn't even try the game, she just jumps off because she knows what's gonna happen. So, who does that leave us with for the remainder of the season?
I can't lie. I thought the front man, I thought he was gonna save her. Cause I thought his story that he told the gang, I thought that was true. I mean, I don't think we know if it's true or not. Well, not I think we know. I think I just forgot. I thought he was gonna save her. Cause you could tell he had. Well, I guess he probably was lying, but it seemed like he had a soft spot for her. I thought he was gonna save her. I truly thought he was. He's gonna make like exception, like you gave birth, so that kind of disqualifies you. You know, I I you would think that would be a exception. She don't win on money, but she survives. I don't know. That's what I thought.
season. You have Gihun, a CGI baby, the old man we don't like, and MG Coin, who we don't really care about.
Nope.
And that's it. Oh, but hang on, I'm sorry. It looks like I'm forgetting something. Oh, and the shy guy? What? I don't care about these people. I
Shy
only
Guy.
really
Yep,
care
that's his
about
name.
Gihun, but all of his friends are dead. He
He
doesn't
made
talk
it too
to anyone
far.
the rest
I'm
of the
sorry.
season. So we see everybody making alliances.
Look, hang on. Look at all these
Dead, he doesn't
people.
talk to anyone the rest of the season. So we
Was all these characters from the beginning? Because I don't remember. Besides Player 100 and the baby daddy and the shy guy and 456 and the baby, these other NPCs. Who are these people? I'm sorry. The fact that they made it this far is crazy. I think that that's what made the last was season 1 so good because the final 3 we know each one of those people, right? And each person was like good besides the ex friend. Um, it was like a good twist, even though we all saw it coming. It was obvious when he took out I forgot his name, that guy in the marble challenge. This one, see, I think this it would have been nice to have Thanos. No, imagine all the group. They all there. They like it's like they thinking, oh, along with maybe like Player 100 and like maybe a Shy Guy. They're like, they probably like we can probably survive this somehow. We all can win. And then it's like, no, at least 3 of y'all gotta die. It's all group of friends. Obviously, Shy Guy gotta go. The Player 100 gotta go. And the last one gonna be hard. Cause let's say the baby daddy reveal that, that's his baby. Imagine if player 222 is still alive and she's here. Everybody then be like, oh, it's been like, damn, like who's gonna get got, I don't know. That's the one thing I think sucked about this finale was it should have been all characters that we knew. Whether we liked them or not, it should have been all characters we knew. Maybe one person we didn't know, but
see everybody making alliances, taking votes,
I was like, who
picking
is these
out who's
people?
weak so they can try to take them out. All things we've seen before. All things that were done better before. But this just feels hollow now because
See, and with him, I thought it was gonna be a twist. I thought he was gonna be a savage. Was I the only one? I thought he was gonna be a savage. I thought them drugs he was taking. I thought he was gonna turn to like kind of like I would say Thanos was kind of a savage. Not really, but his friend like when they was high, they kind of was. Not really, but I thought, but I don't know. It's like he was just there for no reason. I was like, why is he here? He made it too far. He should have been out. Honestly, probably hide and seek. Realistically, he should have been a hider and probably got. I don't
it
know.
involves nobody interesting. So the final game, Squid Game in the Heights, didn't even feel that intense. I just worried about how Gion was going to protect the baby, but other than that, I wasn't worried about any other particular player's life. I was
It'd been better if the baby was not there.
And that kind of sucked. I didn't feel anything watching the remainder of these episodes. After making it to the end of the game, Gihyun realizes that after all the fighting and after everyone's dead already, the button to start the round was never pressed.
That pissed me off because the announcer said it even before they really started fighting. They started fighting. They took a break, and I think the announcer said it. I was like, Giyoung, I was like, if you don't press that button, that was I don't know. I don't think season 1 Giyoung would have did that, and obviously this is a different Giyoung. He's been through some things clearly. Well, obviously season 1 and also all of season 2 and 3. But he's a beast. I'm sorry. Him not pressing that button is kind of, I think, unrealistic. Or even Player 333. The fact that he didn't press it either is, one of them should have pressed it.
So that means he can either kill the baby or sacrifice himself. And in classic protagonist
I was set
fashion,
them like,
Gi-hun
no.
chooses the latter. Now, I really like this moment. It was a powerful middle finger to the front man and all the VIPs. These people are not horses. They are human with real lives, not just entities you can gamble with and expect to follow.
I disagree. I I didn't like the ending at all. And I'm not saying it because Gion died. I'm not saying that. It's I think the element of none of the 480 no 456 players were actually, yeah, none of them winning. Technically, it was kind of like they all competed for nothing basically. That's what pisses me off. The baby should have not been a player. The baby took the player spot of her mother. I think it was a she, of 222. I'm like, why? That was so stupid to me. The baby should have not been in the games. I don't see how all them adults were okay with a baby basically participator. That doesn't make any sense. They even said that the baby can't vote. So I was like, okay, so why is the baby considered as a player? But like the baby should have been taken out. I don't know. I don't know. The baby should have been because obviously they have information on everybody. They could have found I'm sure she had family. If she had no family at all, or I'm sure they knew player 333 was the father at that point. Um, I'm sure they knew. Um, they could have had it where his family, or if he don't got none either, then adoption at that point. I don't know, or the front man could have adopted the baby. I don't know. I just think the baby went in, and it doesn't sit right with me.
Your bets. Gi-hun sacrifices his life, doing right by Junhee and sending a message to those pulling the strings, subverting expectations and ending the Squid Game. This moment should have been really powerful, except that Gi-hun's death had no effect. Because the island blew up with all evidence. The VIPs didn't give a shit. They were just in awe that that decision was made. Everybody died there. There weren't any survivors except for one escapee. And clearly
I forgot about
this
him.
show sets up a
It's like, yeah, he escaped. He didn't win. He escaped. I think he got the money, right? I think so. Yeah, I think that's how his daughter got the surgery or whatever. Yeah, got Gyeong's money. I think it's implied or something like that.
spin-off for an American Squid Game. So after Gi-hun's big
Which I'm
send-off,
looking forward
proving
to.
the frontman wrong and showing that there is hope in humanity, the games are just relocating. They picked up the Squid Game and pushed it somewhere else. And also, quick side note, why is the American recruiter playing Daki in America? Isn't it supposed to be childhood games? Nobody before Squid Game came out has ever heard of Daki, I promise you. If they're gonna play American childhood games, pull out Bloody Knuckles or something, or slap boxing, or Beyblade, I don't know.
Interesting.
I'm sorry, there's just so much to say.
I mean,
This
then
show
again,
didn't
it
give
is a
any thought
simple
to these
game,
storylines,
though.
so I'm not going to either in my video, so I'll keep it brief.
Oh, this storyline unnecessary. You know what a hit? Honestly, they did this storyline. But no, this shouldn't have been even a storyline. It should have been they quickly got to the island. No, kind of like, ooh, kind of. I wanted them to be in the games. I want them to make it to the island. Them thinking that they about to I guess secretly sneak in. No, like they all get knocked out, and now they all players in the game. I'm sorry, that would have. I think that would have been insane. Cause now it's like, damn, we got 456. We have like 2 to 2 pregnant. It's like we have the mother and son. We also have these characters now. I'm sure we all only care about the main guy. I forgot his name also. Imagine that. It's like The ideas, man. The
brief.
ideas.
The biggest waste of time this season was the detective. Huge nothing burger of an arc.
Yes.
He spends the whole time going in circles on a boat, being led astray by the sea
He
captain.
was so
Takes
suspicious.
forever to figure out what's going on.
I would take
His
him out.
knucklehead partner had to leak that information to him. And when he finally gets
though.
to the
He
island,
did.
it's already about to blow up. And when he finds his brother, the whole purpose of the mission, by the way, all he can say is, why? Why?
He couldn't
that's
kill him
it?
though,
And he
'cause he's
just
holding
runs
a baby.
away. It was stupid. And the VIPs, man, they were no improvement at all.
Yeah, he
If they
couldn't.
were up to me, after seeing the reception to them in season 1, I wouldn't have included them at all, but they brought them back and made no improvement to them.
Wait, so people didn't like them in season 1? They didn't? I mean, I didn't like them either, but I didn't like them to the point where I wanted them not to appear. Really? Oh, I didn't. I don't think I heard nothing about that. People not liking them. They were ignorant, arrogant, assholes, and I thought. I mean, they. Okay.
Whatsoever. They are still super awkward. They are still cringe. Their dialogue makes no sense. If they were trying to mock rich Americans, they sucked balls at it. I'm not even rich, and I can tell you none of them talk like that. And I don't know if it was just me, but some of their voices sounded dubbed over. Like, did anyone notice that? Like, I can't be the only one. Like, why would they do that? Like, look at it back. Look at the scene of them in the hide and seek hallway and hear this lady's voice and tell me that it's not dubbed. I don't even think this season is the worst thing ever. I don't think this season ruins Squid Game. Do I think it's the weakest? Yes, I think so.
It goes
I
in
guess I
order.
was just expecting
1, 2, 3.
more. Like, for example, season 1 acknowledged that as more beds cleared out, the walls became more legible, and you could see on the walls what games there were. You can make out what games were just played and what's possibly to come. So with that, I was excited for season 2 because around the walls you can see monkey bars, you can see possibly.
Yes, the monkey bars one, but that might be an America one. So maybe they were teasing for that. But when I thought that they was gonna do monkey bars, I was like, oh no. I was like, I was like 222 and the older mother. I was like, they not making it if they still alive at this point. I was like, no. I was like, oh no. Cause also I knew 222 was gonna get birth because we heard the baby in the trailer. I mean, it could have been a like clickbait type thing, but I was thinking like if she already gave birth at that point, I was like, just still like, oh no. But monkey bars might be in the spinoff, and if so, I think I'll pass. It depends though. If you look down, it's over.
Chess or checkers. Human monkey bars or human chess, those games would have been cool concepts for a death game, but they weren't even teased at all. Now look,
Maybe the spinoff.
I'm not a writer. I don't want to act like I could have done better. But the rebuttal of, oh, why don't you try making a show then, is such a stupid one. No, I don't have the budget nor the creativity to conceive an idea like Squid Game. But that doesn't disqualify me.
And I no disrespect to Netflix and the creators and all that, but I definitely think that some ideas could have been just like switched out, you know? I definitely think cutting off a lot of the main characters early on in season 2 and 3, that was, I think, a mistake. I don't know. All the games I think were perfect. I think it should have been one more game, just one more. Maybe the Monkey Bars one, but because I think the Red Light Green Light one shouldn't have. I think that should have been. I don't know. No, I'm fine with them doing that again. I think it should have. Maybe it should have been a quick one. I don't know. Maybe everyone survived that one. Besides the first, maybe a couple people. You know, maybe they're like, oh, yeah, mostly everybody survived this one, huh? And then they gave us monkey bars to really take out some people. But I think I could have gave some interesting ideas to Squid Game season. At least 3. Season 2 is fine.
As a consumer of sharing my thoughts and criticizing a product I like. I know, another cut to black. This is it. Squid Game is over. At least the story that we initially fell in love with. Was it a perfect finale? No. Was it memorable? I think so.
Yeah,
Like I said, this season introduced me to characters I actually cared about. It had moments where I felt like celebrating with
man,
these characters.
his
It had
acting,
moments where I
I would
felt
never
their
thought.
pain and grief through the screen. It made me happy, it made me mad, it made me feel all these different emotions because that's what a good show does. I think Squid Game is a good example of too much of a good thing. Season 1 was lightning in a bottle, and its ambiguous ending, I think, was a good endpoint for the show. We don't need an answer for everything. Sometimes
Oh, I completely forgot. Why was his hair red? I think he said it. I completely forgot what was the reason why. I completely forgot.
it's just better that way.
I
Season
think
2
say I think
luckily
he said he
came in
gonna do
with a
something
new take,
different
a new
with it.
spin on
Oh
things,
no.
but in trying to up the ante and in trying to subvert our expectations from what we might already be expecting, it kind of left me scratching my head and wanting more. Not more episodes, not more seasons or anything, but it left me wanting more because this felt wrong. So many decisions that were out of character for these people. So many story decisions that went nowhere after so much buildup. And I can't help but ask myself why. This final episode of the show was clearly
This is why I think his character should have been in the games. That would have been a massive like switch. I don't know. I think seeing him in the games, because keep in mind, I think he would probably will he win? I think I could see him sacrifice himself at one point, but not early on probably. But I think because I think the detective parts, it wasn't boring, but it felt like season one. Technically, in season one, he did it better. He had snuck in and everything. Season one, he did it way better. Yeah, he did it way better. Season one. Wait, no, season one, he was always there, wasn't he? I damn, I completely forgot. I'm trying to see. I think no, he wasn't always there. He snuck in and stole someone's spot. I think. I don't know, but he should have been in the games. I think that would have been a nice twist.
buildup, and I can't help but ask myself why. This final episode of the show was clearly meant to set up an American spin-off, and that kind of sucked. Gi-hun's whole plan was to stop the games, and it only led to him dying, not rescuing anyone, and ultimately having the games continue. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the spin-offs. This might be a sunk cost fallacy scenario that I'm in right now,
I'm
but
definitely watching
I
it.
can walk away from this show knowing that season 1 was amazing, season 2 was great, season 3 isn't necessarily bad, but I can definitely say from a
It's a,
story standpoint
okay.
and a viewing standpoint,
Even this shot right here, like who, who are you rooting for besides the baby and like 456? Like the rest of these people, like, why are you here? Player 100. When I say, oh, I think my favorite scene of him was when he was terrified when he was a hider. When I say he had put his big boy pants on and he had approached this girl and he was so nice. He was so nice, polite. He was like, "Can I please switch with you?" I think he was like, "I won't kill you or nothing." I think he said that. I could be wrong. He was so nice about it, and then she was like, "No, I'm sorry. I don't believe no seeker was really looking for him. I can't believe that. He should have been out actually in the hide and seek one, and I think it should have been like 5 people who he terrorized maybe in previous maybe just in the bedroom, the not bedroom, the area, and like in between games. He should have not made it to the finale. I don't know what I say.
this season was definitely exhausting.
And that is it. I have nothing to say. I agree for the most part with everything he said. Yeah, I agree with everything he said for the most part, I think. But yeah, I think season one was amazing. I think excellent. 10 out of 10. Season two, very good. I say a 8 out of 10. Season three, it was just okay. Honestly, 6 out of 10. Yeah, and honestly, I think if I do rewatch this show, it would just be the games parts. But yeah, I think the issue was that they killed off too many characters. I think I think two characters should have survived that had a sequel. It seemed like the whole crew got and it had a sequel. And I'm including the mother because when her son got, she technically died with him. She legit died in between games. She had took herself out. I don't know. And the fact that it was no woman in the final game was crazy. I don't. What's crazy is I don't know. I'm trying to see what have I think Guillaume probably would have protected her. See that I think this is why player 2-2 should have won. And I already know that I think that would have been like an uproar, like people saying, "Oh, she won with her baby." I don't know. I think realistically, I could see people not want to touch her because this season it could have been more than one winner. You know, I think that they say it could be up to 6 winners or something like that. It could have been more than one winner. So that's why I'm like, her winning with her baby and maybe another character or two. I think that would have made the finale way better. But let me know what you guys think down below. Like, subscribe, all the good stuff. Stay safe, drink water, be a good person, and that's about it with today's video. Peace.